Guess what I just found out? In 37 US states, it is illegal to boycott the Israeli government. I'm going to say it again. In US states, the majority, it is illegal to boycott the Israeli government. And if you do, you are punished. You get fined. And at some point, they even said 20 years in prison, but I think they had to revoke it because that was psycho. And if you are a contracted worker in these 37 states, you literally have to sign a pledge. And if you don't, you're punished. So we have freedom of speech in this country, right? Right. We are allowed to boycott and criticize our government, our own elected officials to pretty much any extent because we have freedom of speech, right? But when it comes to another country's government, we have this loyalty oath. Do you understand how insane that is? How insane that is? It is not normal for our free speech to be free and then constrained when it comes to another country's government. Can you imagine if we had this loyalty oath to Russia and when they were invading Ukraine, we couldn't go against Russia's government? The more I learn about the US and Israel's relationship,
Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us.
All right. Welcome once again to the Beatzilla PDX official show. I am your host, Beatzilla PDX officially. and this is the midweek report. And yes, we are live this evening, so hopefully everybody is doing well. It's been a minute since we've been live. As you're coming in, please hit the like button and share this broadcast if you would. Much appreciative of that. So, again, also, if you have not yet subscribed to this channel, please do so at this moment and hit the subscribe button. And also hit that notification bell, hit the word all. That way you'll be notified anytime this channel goes live or a video is uploaded. And you can also become a member of this channel, which some members would know that if it's a pre-recording, it might be debuted first in the members only area and then, so they see it first. So when you guys are waiting until the evening, they might see it in the morning. So, but shout out to all of you. So thank y'all for being members and all of you who have subscribed so far. I believe we are over 1,700 now. Small platform, small channel, but it's a steady thing over here. So I appreciate all of you who spend your evenings with this broadcast. So with that being said, let's see who we have in here this evening. We have One Who Cares in the house. Welcome, welcome. Good evening, my good sister. We got our brother Kid Gravity Beyond in the house. What's going on, my good brother? And we got our sister, Judah Queen in the house. Black first, my good sister. Yes, indeed. We have Nabmaat Ray, the third, or three. So, I hope I got that right. So thanks for tuning in once again. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. And we got our sister Key Prince in the building. Welcome, Key Prince. Good to see you in the house. We have Patricia Slade in the building. Welcome. Jersey City is in the building. Welcome, 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 Jersey City. All right. And we got our sister. Where's that at? The screen over here jumping around on me. Okay. Black Spider in the house. Black First, West Coast, Seattle, Washington. Shout out to you, my good sister, and also thank you for being a member. And yeah, it's rainy in the Northwest this good day. They told us it was going to be coming in around 5 or something. It's been raining since noon. Well, no, wait a minute. No, it's been raining since like 11 o'clock this morning. So, oh yeah, the rain is coming in this evening, late rain. Late rain was 11 a.m. So shout out to you. I already know what you're going through being down here in Portland. We have Reginald Jeter in the house. What's going on, my good brother Black First? Yes, indeed. We got brother David Boyd in the building. What's going on, my good brother? Glad to see you can make it. And you see, okay, yeah. I almost got it. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I was trying. We got Cyberdyne 100 in the house. Good evening, family. What's going on? Yes, indeed. Ooh. One Who Cares. It's 39 St. Louis. Good Lord. Ooh-wee. And Key Prince also said, it's definitely fall in here on the East Coast, rain and cold winds. Okay. Lord. And just like Judah Queen said, let's go. Let's get 2,000 subscribers. So yes, if we could, I would like to get there before the end of the year. That'd be dope. Yes, indeed. Shout out to you, my good sister. Good to see you in the house. All eyes on us. All eyes on us. Black First, family. What's going on? Welcome. Welcome, welcome. So what we're talking about tonight is kind of how the hijacking of woke, which truth be told, the credit for, I guess, kind of it being a modern term, which they did try to give, I guess, Erica Badu some credit for her song, which actually the writer of that song is a lady by the name of Georgianne Muldrew. So if you want to look her up, that's who actually wrote that. So actually, she's performing on that particular song. So that's the other person who's singing on it. It's talking about the preacher scheming and your baby daddy, or like that's Georgianne Muldrew, and she actually wrote that song. So for those who don't know, but nonetheless, talking about how they are using the anti-woke strategy and truth be told, it's an anti-black strategy all the way around. You understand what I'm saying? Like, don't miss that. At the same time, another thing it is, it's being hijacked and used just like how CRT was done. So when you see how people were able to come against CRT so heavy, is whoever was implementing, and it really wasn't CRT. What it was is that African American studies curriculum thing, like that. What they were trying to stick into that wasn't okay. You understand what I'm saying? But real quick before I forget, my glass over here so I can see. We're going to talk about a few things this evening. Derek Parker, what is going on, my good brother? Good to see you in the house. Black first. And yeah, like anybody who, like, I'm old enough, I wouldn't see all school days in the theater. So wake up. That's Larry Fishburne. Wake up. I mean, that, again, you look at Larry Fishburne from DAP to Morpheus. What was he doing? Waking people up. This, and again, when you go back into like my high school era of like middle school, high school era of hip hop, it was extremely conscious. Like overt Afrocentrically conscious. I mean, so we definitely see where hip hop has gotten now. And, a lot of these things are by design. So again, looking at how the woke is now being used, when you hear, because basically woke is being used as like, say, okay, here's all of these other agendas that go along with woke. But truth be told, we just really hate them ends over there. And so it's all of the way that you start hearing people using woke, it's just put N word there. You understand what I'm saying? And now at the same time, a lot more of us are waking up. Let me see what just happened here. Oh, Cyberdyne 100. Thank you for the Cash App. I appreciate that. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you and yours. I appreciate that. Salute to you. So how they've been using the terms woke this, woke that, and it, for all intents and purposes, when it comes down to what they were trying to stick into that curriculum, and whoever did that is the real slime ball, because they put a lot of things that conservatives are not gonna go for, but at the same time, this is how I view it. It's almost as if you're using something. Say, if you're a Democrat and you understand reparations is a serious conversation, well, then what do? You have to get some kind of distraction going. So I look at how we know that the right, the crazy right, and the extremists will do this, and they'll flame out, and so everything black will just get shot down, and we'll just be right back to just getting nothing from the black or nothing for the black vote. Because right now we're asking for tangibles. We're demanding tangibles. We're showing them by now they're having posts. See, remember, they was like, you guys are talking into a vacuum. Now no more. You haven't heard that echo chamber talk in a long time, have you? I mean, I haven't been in like many a spaces lately at all, but I'm just saying, it seems to me that you haven't heard a lot of people talking that echo chamber mess. Why? Because the poll numbers have came in. Now I see somebody post that they got blocked by the Too Raw Too Real dude on Twitter. Yeah, he been unblocked me, and then he unblocked me for a minute. That's why I was like, oh, okay, I see how the things is playing, because a lot of these people who are like Black Pack and all of these, and you're starting to hear these names now, and like, oh yeah, man, if y'all who have been with me long enough will understand why I was going with FBA is closed until further notice. Why? Because you see where we're at now, and the whole delineation movement, you know, that you clearly see is lineage based. It made so much sense, and so you've heard people throw out labels. You heard FBA is a hate group. It's like, no, it's a lineage. And now that you're getting lineage based, uh, we're going forth in lineage based policies, and that's how it's being attacked. You can't call that a hate group right now. For those of you who saw the very first video that I played, we should be getting that type of protection in this country. But I mean, for those who didn't see it, I'm going to replay it. But I just want y'all to understand that I don't. And this is November, so we missed. I didn't. Of course, we did the Zilloween. If y'all seen that, Knight Rider in the building. Salute to you, Shalom. Yes, indeed. There are still scary things afoot. And so with that, you know, I don't know what was going on with my timeline, but I came across this from family, and oh good Lord. And why does this give me Spanish speaking Roland Martin vibes?
A ver, hijo de la chingada, deja de estar viendo memes, pendejo.
A la verga, me vale verga, perro. Y cálate a la verga, hija de tu puta madre, a la verga. La verga, verga.
That's how Roland Martin acting right now. So don't get spazzed out if you see that pop up a few times this evening, because Roland Martin is having to come to grips with the fact that black male votes matter, and all of that propaganda that they was popping don't. And I mean, and so again, the other thing about what we're talking about with woke, the South Park thing, because see, another thing they used, another way that they have used woke against black folks is using it again as a like a coalition, a fake coalition. So imagine people are riding the blacks of black folks without even associating themselves with black folks. So you have a woke narrative now. It's using woke. So you're using woke like, oh, now white people can jump into civil rights, and now there's some civil. I'm a civil rights icon. Are you seeing the angle that, I mean, you got to understand, these people spend buku bucks on think tanks. buku bucks on think tanks. They get good money. Putting all these money into these PACs and whatnot. Man, you better understand somebody is brainstorming coming up with stuff like this. How do we slow down the momentum? And then again, there's also the first video that I played. Still Kevin Trees is going on. That's an angry Roland Martin. A Spanish speaking angry. Well, shoot, he from Houston. Bitty bitty bitty. Prota. Oh, Lord. But okay, so like I say, we're going down the ways of how woke and all of this conversation is happening. However, it's also it clearly runs the risk of basically imploding on itself. And what I mean by that is how it's happening with the South Park, the Marvel situation that's going on over there with Kathleen Kennedy and the South Park creators. And as someone who, you know, kind of like watches Marvel and Star Wars, you know, as I've just grown up, one of the things I do watch. Some of the, I will say, some of the directions have been kind of questionable, and you know, for those who know what some of these storylines were supposed to be as children, it like okay, the creators over there, like people like us, we're pretty much are all around the same age, so we understand the stories that are supposed to be there. Just like with Ghostbusters, you're reimagining Ghostbusters with women. You're shoehorning something in. You realize Set It Off was Set It Off. It was all women for women. Set It Off was not a spin off another movie. Set It Off was just simply Set It Off, a movie written for women by a man, but for women. You know what I mean? So it's like, well, why now are you going to shoehorn all of this other stuff in? It just doesn't make sense. And so you're starting to hear a lot of the nerd. See, that nerdosphere is highly anti-black. There's a gang of suspected white supremacists in that. So you know, you just understand what the kind of language that you hear. You know what I'm saying? Yes, indeed. Sister Miriam in the building. Welcome, 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 my good sister. It is good to see you. Then we got our good brother Torian Rain reloaded in the building. What is going on, my good brother Black First? Yes, indeed. And we have Buginez in the house. What's going on? Said the whole the whole wanting black cover without actually associating with us like when suburban white kids love listening to hip hop, but ain't now one of them got no damn black friends. That's exactly that's exactly what I mean, Buginez. Thank you. That's exactly what I mean. You're trying to ride our backs while actually using it to slow up our momentum. It's man. Now, is that not devilish? I mean, is that not devilish? Jeez. Lady Effa in the house. Welcome, sister. Good to see you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I mean, man, you you just better understand how these people play. And this is a very it's very cunning. It's very cunning. Let me see if I can find that. Let me see if I can find it. Bear with me 1 second, because someone sent me. Oh, I think it was Brother JoJo. I think that is who sent me that a while back. There it is. Yeah. Let me. It's this is what is this? Concerns found within College Board submitted AP African American Studies course. It's a screenshot, so it ain't all that clear. Topics from the AP course. First topic is 4.15, intersectionality and activism. The hell does that have to do with African American history? See, so you're using bell hooks to push this other agenda in here. So that, and that's the first point. Yeah, I'll say it's a point of concern, because that's intersectionality is not Black American history. So that's modern woman history, if you will. Like, that would be in a completely different course. I don't see where you're getting into like, where is this in the Harlem Renaissance? Where is this in Reconstruction? Where is this taking place there? You know what I mean? Like, oh boy, like I said, shoehorning things in. Shoehorning them in, man. The concern, intersectionality is foundational to CRT and ranks people based on their race, wealth, gender, and sexual orientations. Now, if that's true, that's how they presented it, again, I will say, whoever put this in the midst of this course is a slime ball. Because what does this have to do with what our ancestors went through here? So this is what I'm saying. You front load something with our supposed issues, and you front load it with this. And then you present this to a group of homosexual hating conservatives, and then act like, oh man, well, see, black folks can't get nothing done. That's why you're going to have to turn around and vote for the Democrats. Are you kidding? This is evil. And in our family, a Democrat had the idea to put this notion in our history. So again, who's the real enemy here? And so when people are saying, no, I ain't going to deal with one or the other, now you're going to start hearing a lot of the shills acting like, because you ain't voting for anybody, oh man, you're turning into a mega extremist. And not voting for anyone is not voting for anyone. Man, I mean, come on now, you got to vote. Give me one of them independent candidates and give them a shot. We got to do something different, because this is not working. And again, you vote for Trump. I don't know if that would really do it. I'm saying we just need to try something else. Simple as that. And because look at what the Democrats are doing. With all of this threatening to democracy, they refuse to allow that particular office to be up for grabs from its own other party members that may have a better go at it this go around. They're sticking with the incumbent. That's it. That's all, and it's all it's said and done. Joe Biden, Joe Biden, Joe Biden. That's it. So that's not democracy. That's dictatorship. And this right here is hella wicked. Let's see. What's funny is the included reading, though. Kimberly Crenshaw, known as the founder of Intersectionality and co-editor of Critical Race Theory, key writings that formed the movement, Angela Davis, self-avowed communist and Marxist. That's all feminism, not African American history, as they say it, AP course, whatever. Topic 4.19. Hold on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen. because you really think we're going to talk about the cotton fields and how the black slave trade, the chattel slavery here in America, the harsh goings ons against foundational black Americans in this country would be somewhere at the top of the list of conversation. Black queer studies. So far, we've talked about intersectionality and activism, and now Black queer studies. Interesting thing about all of this is there's, well, I'm sure I would want to see, because these are the things that are concerned. I would like to see the entire proposed curriculum that they were actually trying to shoot out there, but these are the things that they have questions about, and clearly good reason, because this should not be anywhere around our history like that. Included reading Roderick Ferguson, who exclaims, quote, "We have to encourage and develop practices whereby queerness isn't a surrender to the status quo of race, class, gender, and sexuality. It means building forms of queerness that reject the given realities of the government and the market." So I guess that's where you start getting into the non-binary conversation. 420, topic 429, movements for Black Lives. Movement for Black Lives is an organization with stated objectives that include eliminating prisons and jails, ending pretrial detention, and concluding the war on black trans, queer, gender non-conforming, and intersex people. Damn your mama and your daddy. I mean, whoever put this in an African, this is supposed to be your AP course? Are you kidding? See, this is where things show you the true ploy and the true tactics of what they're really trying to get over on you with. And this is madness, man. This is madness, man. Including reading. Leslie K. Jones, who wrote, "Every day, Black people produce an unquantifiable amount of content for the same social media corporations that reproduce the white supremacist superstructures that oppress us." Okay. I wouldn't believe that was a book title. Or maybe that just was a statement that they wrote, because if that's a book title, that is extremely long. Topic 4.30, the reparations movement. Well, imagine that. Now, see, this is how you know there is BS afoot. So somewhere where you know that reparations is going to be part of our conversation, you're trying to front load and back and backload in some of these other agendas, so that this issue that is really the main issue, now they put it all the way down to the end, but come on now. And nonetheless, it's topic 430. I mean, I guess they could have. It's one of those April numbers if you were into that type of thing. You feel what I'm saying? This says, oh, you know what? I skipped over one, but let me read this. All points and resources in this study advocate for reparations. That's the right thing, because when you harm people, that's what happens in this country. You get repaired. There is no critical perspective or balancing opinion in this lesson. Oh, who is this drafted by? The Manhattan Institute? Boy, if that don't sound like Diane Yap. Well, I almost would I almost put money that she's part of this one. Oh boy, that Diane Yap something else. And I mean, I've been keeping my eye on her for a minute. It's just like I'm just like, okay, let's just go ahead and I'm sure, it's Diane Yap is going to be, and I guess if she's comfortable with not being liked, then she'll be fine. But I mean, she's out there doing the most. She's making fictitious black assailants, and they're calling her all kind of the C word, and I don't mean woman, I mean the C word for Asian. And it's crazy. It's like, man, there's no video of anything you're saying, but you just want us to believe anything you're saying, which we ain't doing. Like Rhoda, the brick blueberry muffin in the house. What's going on, my good sister? Yes, indeed, hanging in there in old the rainy Pacific Northwest. Yep. Okay. There we go. Yes, good to see you, my good sister. So I see somebody. Okay. No, what's going on my screen here? We got Dre in the house. What's going on, brother Dre? Welcome, my brother. Salute to you. Yes, sir. Okay, so and this is just so insane to me. I'm just saying, man. Okay. All right. The point or the topic before the reparations movement, what is topic 4.16, Black feminist literary thought. Now, now when we getting into the Black feminist talk, it is that right there to me is it sets a tone of very clear division or separation, shall we say? But they don't seem to mind that, I guess, when it comes down to feminist movements. But nonetheless, this is included reading Bell Hooks, author of many intersectionality texts, and in the recommended reading states, I began to use the phrase in my work, white supremacist capitalist patriarchy, because I wanted to have some language that would actually remind us continually of the interlocking systems of domination. I'm sorry. Boy, this is horrible. Domination that defined our reality. That defines our reality. I don't know what okay. And last but not least, the topic 4.3, to our topic 4.31, Black study and Black struggle in the 21st century. So this is what you're trying to say. Let's take that. Now, when you get here, you're literally talking about civil rights and like the Black Power movement. This is recent history. We have family members still living from this stuff. And again, I would go back again, like I say, Black struggle. Shoot. They ran freeways. Like I say, in all of these black communities, or well, where a freeway or a stadium is now, yeah, that's probably where your affluent black community used to be. That sure is the way here. And this is all the way up in the Northwest. So I'm sure they have made good practice and good work at running freeways from coast to coast all through prosperous black towns, and then do like what they're doing right now and give all of this money to these immigrants. And then these immigrants can go ahead and become another economic class above black folks, while you have black bisexuals just simply saying, let's vote our lives away. Yeah. I hope that we are reaching a point to where we are absolutely willing to vote our own interests, however that may be. And our collective interest is not voting for benign neglect. And where, people, hey, they got to do this and they got to do that. Stop. You know how much they love to tell us what folks can't do for us? Okay. So that's so they're hating of the black struggle. The included reading here: Robin D.G. Kelly argues that activism rather than the university system is the catalyst for social transformation. Kelly's first book was a study of black communists in Alabama. Kelly warns that simply establishing safe spaces and remaining campus buildings does nothing to overthrow capitalism. I don't know why they chose to use that quote from the dude, but whatever. That again, setting a that's like where they really want to get to, and what they really wanted to get to was justice. That's the problem, and they don't want our children, because who's going to be going to college to take this course in Florida? Black people. So you mean to tell me that you don't want this taught at an HBCU? The nerve. The nerve of some of these people. I mean, and good grief. That's a hell of a lot of nerve. But let me go back to the video that I played at the beginning, just to kind of refresh everybody. Now I see we got more here, but just to refresh everybody, when we're talking about woke is going to be used as a tool and a weapon. And you should find this little tasty tidbit a lot interesting.
Guess what I just found out? In 37 US states, it is illegal to boycott the Israeli government. I'm going to say it again. In US states, the majority, it is illegal to boycott the Israeli government. And if you do, you are punished. You get fined. And at some point, they even said 20 years in prison, but I think they had to revoke it because that was psycho. And if you are a contracted worker in these 37 states, you literally have to sign a pledge. And if you don't, you're punished. So we have freedom of speech in this country, right? Right. We are allowed to boycott and criticize our government, our own elected officials to pretty much any extent because we have freedom of speech, right? But when it comes to another country's government, we have this loyalty oath. Do you understand how insane that is? How insane that is? It is not normal for our free speech to be free and then constrained when it comes to another country's government. Can you imagine if we had this loyalty oath to Russia, and when they were invading Ukraine, we couldn't go against Russia's government? The more I learn about the US and Israel's relationship,
Interesting, ain't it? Bronze Mac in the house. The 105 freeway and SoFi Stadium ruined Inglewood and certain parts of Hawthorne. See? You know? I mean, and so that's just right there, real quick. 2 different locations of where black folks is. No reparations, no vote. Beep, 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 beep. You know, now you say that, and Spanish speaking
A ver,
Roller gonna
hijo de
get
la
you.
chingada, deje de estar viendo memes, pendejo.
¡A la verga, me vale verga, perro! ¡Y cállate a la verga, hija de tu puta madre, a la verga! ¡La verga, vergazos!
Woo. Ooh, Lord. But okay, now to continue on in the conversation to where, okay, you can be woke when you're like Amy Schumer is going on Twitter with Dr. Martin Luther King clips supporting Israel, and his daughter chimed in on it and was like, yeah, he would have definitely called for a ceasefire. You know what Amy Schumer's slimy, grimy self did? What she did is turned off the comments after Dr. King's daughter, Bernice King, checked her, and she keeps it up. She keeps it up and then keeps trying to retweet it. See, this is why we say, no, you hold your own nuts. Don't come to us talking about who we should be feeling sorry for or supporting. No, we supporting ourselves. What you talking about? Yeah, we talking about this reparations over here. It look like y'all got some business to handle over there. We all here on different agendas, not on one. So let's not try that. Oh Lord. So let's see, where are we going first? Oh, again, like I said, when we're talking about those individuals, Dave Chappelle has came under fire lately because, again, this Dave Chappelle better understand what's happening right now because it's not gonna stop. And maybe he might understand. Now, I'm not telling anybody to go cape for any entertainer. What I will say, take note to what's happening. You understand what I'm saying? And so when this community that you cannot boycott in 37 American states says, y'all better do this or y'all better do that, maybe things make sense why some people say certain people are in control of so many things or something of the sort. I mean, I don't know. I don't have any proof or facts of anything, but very interesting that one group of a rainbow orientation, Skittles bag community, they come after him. That doesn't really work. Then Jonathan Greenblatt and ADL go after Kyrie Irving and Kanye, and you can't really successfully cancel a black man. And fast forward to 2023, I guess they had to ramp it up a notch because Dave Chappelle was not toting the line and caping as they want, and we have heard and seen some people try to act like black voices out here in these grassroots streets should be out here doing, which hell no. But nonetheless, this is what Dave Chappelle had to say in response.
I'm not even mad that they take issue with my work. Good, fine. What I take issue with is the idea that because they don't like it, I'm not allowed to say it. Art is a nuanced endeavor. I have a belief that they are trying to take the nuance out of speech. in American culture, that they're making people speak as if they're either on the right or the left. Everything seems absolute, and any opinion I respect is way more nuanced than these binary choices that they keep putting in front of us. I don't see the world in red or blue. It's just people I agree with on some things, but not other things. It's just what it is.
I don't see any problem with what he said. And you know, one of the things that's really strange for me to see is how all of these people are just people really truly feel entitled to us. It is amazing. If you don't do it, I want you to do, you dirty. I mean, are y'all seeing like the temperature of these people out here? It's like they are so upset when black folks be like, yeah, it ain't got nothing to do with me. And then you gonna get somebody to come out there and finger wag on their program and you ain't doing this and beep, 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 beep. That's old and tired. And see, y'all gonna be all up in your car, yelling and screaming into your phone. Now, y'all must hate women because y'all know that this the first black woman that's ever been. They're gonna be all up in that stratosphere with their voices. Have you seen how upset some of these shields be getting? Have y'all seen some of these TikToks, family? They be in their car going nuts, be going ham on their phone because black folks ain't kissing Democrats' ass. I'm telling you, family, these people really, 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 truly believe that we're just supposed to do whatever. And they also believe that we are for, I guess, for a lack of, you can use us. You can use us for reference and use our harm for reference, which is really grimy and slimy. It's extremely slimy and grimy. So, ladies and gentlemen, the one who never disappoints, Shay Pierre, ladies and gentlemen. Shay Pierre has entered this affair this evening. And boy, oh boy, oh boy, did she put a heaping crock of crap on the stove. Listen to this.
Doesn't Biden think the anti-Israel protesters in this country are extremists?
What I can say is what we've been very clear about this. When it comes to anti-Semitism, there's no place. We have to make sure that we speak against it very loud and be very clear about that. Remember what the president decided when the president decided to run for president is what he saw in Charlottesville in 2017 when he saw neo-Nazis marching down the streets of Charlottesville with vile anti-Semitic just hatred.
Who remembers Charlottesville? Was Charlottesville an anti-Semitic rally? A pro-Israel rally? Or was that about Black lives? I mean, maybe we're rewriting history already. I don't know. But Charlottesville, where the white woman got killed by the white supremacists who wanted to go out there and kill some black people, this now had something to do with anti-Semitism, or was she saying the people that came back with the torches? Oh yeah, because torches would definitely be synonymous. I mean, granted, with the Klan in Oregon, which is the modern Klan. For those of you who don't know, the Klan that was the Reconstruction, and then Reconstruction, the Klan, when they kind of thin their numbers, there was a reemergence of the Klan here. Don't know if a lot of people know that, but yeah, that one picture where you see all the Klansmen sitting in a church under the Jesus Save signs. That's actually them giving presenting Fred G. Meyer with a check to open up his grocery stores, which would now be known as Fred Meyer's, to which Kroger now owns. So, tasty tidbit of Oregon history. Oh, you know something else that's funny or not is that you can go on eBay and get a coon chicken, some coon chicken memorabilia. So somebody that used to frequent what would now be known as Clyde's Prime Rib on 56 and Sandy. That's where you can go hear live music every now and then. A black-owned business, go check them out. But what that used to be a long time ago, back in the 50s, was coon chicken. And you can go buy memorabilia right now. But I guess talking about that struggle that had people putting businesses like Coon Chicken in our cities, talking about that and teaching about that is harmful to college-age minds. Now, like I said, at Florida, I live in Oregon. We don't have no HBCUs out on the West Coast. All the HBCUs are out east. There is near HBCU past St. Louis, or I guess past Texas. But you will not be finding one out on the I-5 corridor. That just don't exist. Marion said white supremacist coon chicken. Man. And they're still selling the memorabilia from that place on eBay. Somebody found that and put that picture up too. So I just let you know how these folks get down. But this woman was really trying to sit up here and act like what went down in Charlottesville was about anti-Semitism. Ma'am, that was about anti-blackness.
And he was very clear then, and he's very clear now. He's taken actions against this over the past 2 years, and he's continued to be clear. There is no place for this type of vile and despite this kind of rhetoric.
Now, you know what's so crazy? He's been about the anti-Semitism, did nothing about the anti-black, which was the reason for the violence. But okay, there, buddy.
You guys don't talk about extremists all the time. It is usually about MAGA extremists. So what about these protesters who are making Jewish students feel unsafe on college campuses? Are they extremists?
I've been very, very clear. We are calling out any form of hate. Any form of hate. It is not acceptable. It should not be acceptable here. And we are going to continue to call that out. And let me be very clear. This is a president that has continued to have that fight in his office, in this administration. You know, when he repealed Trump's Muslim ban on his first day in office, that is something that this president did. He also established an inter-policy committee to counter Islamophobia, anti-Semitism, and related forms of bias and discrimination. We have taken this very, very, very seriously, from the president all the way on down.
Okay. And I would just gladly say cap. It's like Charlottesville. See, again, so you're using that. But again, if you were to try to teach college students about Charlottesville in, I guess, maybe 10 years, then they're going to tell you that's harmful to teach. I mean, this has happened 10 years ago, but it's harmful to teach such a international event. International, known, recognized event. So that means they're going to be trying to get rid of 2020 altogether, right? It's going to be one of the things they're going to want to do. Now, let's see. Where do I want to go next? Because we are going to talk. Oh, let's see. We have to definitely talk about. There was another development. Queen Nile in the building. Welcome, 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 sister. Good to see you in the building. Let me see if I can find this. There's oh no, that's a picture. I think I did download that. Hold on. We're gonna have to also I gotta get to the we go get back to the woke, but okay, a few weeks ago, I think it might have been one of my last lives, that we were talking about the Virgin Islands Congresswoman, or what is she, a senator? I believe, yeah, whatever. The woman who represents the Virgin Islands. What was that? Stacy Plastic or something like that. Well, there was a development that came out. I guess some things got leaked. One would be, I guess, a video or photo of her husband naked in woman's makeup. And yeah, that happened. And then also a topless photo also emerged as well. So private video of Virgin Islands Democrat delegate posted online. Says the headline, a private videotape of the Virgin Islands delegate to Congress, Democratic representative, okay, that's what she is, Representative Stacy Plaskett, which showed her husband naked and wearing makeup, was posted online Wednesday night, but later removed. The freshman lawmaker said in a statement Thursday, she said Thursday, okay, a topless selfie of Plaskett was also being circulated. Oh, Lord. Lord have mercy. We. Now, here's another thing that also should kind of be interesting yet troubling. The new Speaker of the House that they just recently elected while they were trying to get Frankenstein elected, which makes no sense. It's like he's a Democrat. It's the Republicans' choice of what they want to do. They're obviously going to get a Republican because they have the majority, which means they have the most chances of getting somebody in that particular seat than the losers. So, I mean, I don't know why they kept, we need to find a bipartisan way to work this out. No, please. I just don't know what to say. Black Democrat, there's something about a certain age of Black Democrat, which it's just old Negro. It's just they exude old Negro. I don't want no trouble. God, I don't want no trouble. But we are referring to wokeness now. Now, they didn't want this guy, and with good reason. This Louisiana suspected, I say that loosely, suspected white supremacist. This is a guy that nobody really knows except for the good old boys, and that's why they got him. So listen to what he
But of
says.
course, our objective is to reduce federal spending. As conservatives in the House, that is a top priority of ours because we're haunted by the federal debt. It's $33.6 trillion now, Maria. You address this all the time on your show. We have to keep that in mind always. We want to decrease the woke and weaponized federal government and its apparatuses and reduce federal spending and make sure there's accountability. So all that comes into the equation, all that comes into the debate, and whatever that top line number is, we're going to work very hard to come in beneath it, and you'll see that work happening here over the coming days.
See him throw that woke thing out there, right? And see, it's like, no, it's not. It's not woke. But that's how they did it. So by having, and again, it's a complex scheme, but a scheme nonetheless. And using woke as a proxy to get in the way of any kind of empowerment for us. They are trying to stand in the way of foundational Black American empowerment at every turn. I mean, they eat, sleep, wake up thinking about us. Now, there was another situation that happened. As I'm waiting for this to load. See, I got this picture in here. This brother, the brother from the Green Book, he's slated to play Blade. However, reports are saying that he's kind of moving in the direction of leaving and quitting this Blade project. And I guess the reason for that is that they are, and now they're hiding it under the guise of woke. But truth be told, what's really happening is it's not about woke. It's about them putting that LGBTQ agenda and feminist agenda in the midst, and so it's like, oh, okay. So they're basically trying to make him a background actor in his own movie. Let's see, where is that story there? Let me get back. Oh, that's Jonathan Majors. I ain't looking for that. Okay. Hopefully this takes me to the right story. It says, though this is what the Twitter says. It says, one person familiar with the Blade script changes says the story at one point morphed into a narrative led by women and filled with life lessons, with Marshala Ali's Blade relegated to the fourth lead. So these are the things that have kind of been going on, and it's so this is a whole a movie about a black male character, to whom, by the way, originally played by Wesley Snipes, put Marvel on the map. Then also Spawn with Michael Jai White, and their other one which is newer. That the Luke Cage is newer, but there is an older one. I can't. It's not coming to me right now. But those two for certain. And so if anybody ever wasted your time to see the third Blade movie, this was going to, I guess this new Blade movie was fitting to be Blade 3 reworked. And then instead of having, was it Ryan Reynolds, they're gonna put a woman in there. Because that's Ryan Reynolds in that movie, right? Pretty sure that's Ryan Reynolds in Blade 3. That movie is horrible. And again, they're trying to make the main character the backseat of the story. So you're gonna use blackness, especially a black man. You're going to utilize that to hone in another agenda. So what we need to start doing, especially, we need to start expressing at every given turn possible that saying black and brown is an insult to our ancestors. Because there was no brown. Especially with a bunch of brown people that say, no, identify us as white. So there goes your black and brown. Saying. You know how they do. I'm a black, brown, BIPOC. No. Those are insults to me and my ancestors. There is no such thing as a BIPOC here. We didn't have BIPOC experiences. We had one solo experience. And speaking of a solo experience, I had to rework this because I wanted to take the music out of it. But nonetheless, so I found a suitable soundtrack. So for those of y'all who understand, Sheila Jackson Lee is just recently showing up. A shout out to brother Phil Scott. He had posted it on Twitter, and that was one of the places I saw it. With her dancing, she over there at some club in Houston, shaking her tail feather. So since I can't play the music, I found a suitable soundtrack.
Goddamn thing. I want you to have a fucking brain. I want you to have read it. I want you to say, Congresswoman, it was such and such date. That's what I want. That's the kind of staff that I want to have. So some stupid other motherfucker did it, and I don't have the information. Nobody sent me the information. I need to ensure my schedule. And, if boo-boo did it, shit-ass did it, fuckface did it, and nobody knows a goddamn thing in my office. Okay? Nothing. I gave it to you. Your job was to get it on the calendar, imprint it in your brain, or send me the information back saying, Congresswoman, I made sure that the Ovi Duncan Tell event that you gave me for so-and-so date at 7 is on the fucking calendar. Not to, Jerome has it. Okay? So when I called Jerome, he's going to be sitting up there like a fat-ass, stupid idiot talking about what the fuck he doesn't know. Okay? Both of y'all are a fucking F. It's the worst shit that I could have ever had put together. Two goddamn big-ass children. Fucking idiots. Serve no goddamn purpose. Ain't managing nobody. Nobody's respecting them. Nobody gives a shit about what you're doing. And you ain't doing shit. And this is an example of it. I gave it to Jerome. This is not child's work. Okay?
Okay. It sounds like it is. Starting again. Whew. Woo-wee. Yeah, I found a different soundtrack for that dancing video. Look out for Roland Martin.
A ver, hijo de la chingada, deja de estar viendo memes, pendejo.
A la verga me vale verga, perro. Y cálate a la verga, hija de tu puta madre, a la verga. La verga, vergazos.
Oh boy. So Kathleen Kennedy got hollered at by South Park, as you guys probably well know. And I'm going to play some of the audio. Because she's suing them now. And it's just amazing the power that certain people have to do certain things like
universe. Our stocks are down and every Disney movie this year has failed. We don't understand it, sir. We keep making the same movie over and over and pandering to everyone, but suddenly it's not working. Then we've got to pander harder. Look, I don't want to have to say it, but I think the problem is Kathleen Kennedy.
Now, for those who don't know who Kathleen Kennedy is, she's the lady down there, bottom left on the screen, to whom a lot of people say that a lot of the childhood things that they were used to, have now officially been ruined thanks to her. And she has not taken kindly to this. She is literally, okay, South Park has been known for going at everybody before. But this woman is saying, you are not going to go after me. Boy, what? Just remember that little video I played earlier. It's just kind of interesting when 37 states you could get prosecuted for boycotting a whole different government that we're sending billions to. But let's listen to more from South.
Kathleen Kennedy has made studios a lot of money. Yes, before, but you have to admit something's changed. For weeks now, she's been completely different.
It's true.
What if this is a different Kathleen Kennedy? What are you saying, Rick?
Okay, now I'm going to skip a little forward here. Okay, there we go. Because I think this is why, and it is somewhat true. I mean, to be quite honest, as a person who has watched some of this stuff, yeah, but it's very interesting to how they attack this. And the reason why I want to play this and why I'm even speaking about this is because, family, do you remember, I guess, all of 5 years ago, it was all of this blame black men thing? And see, that was hand in hand with a lot of some of these other agendas, the intersectionality agenda. That all of these things were hand in hand. The black feminists we're getting whistled at and all of this catcalling crap that they said was happening that I don't know who does that anymore. Shout out Angelica Lena. I see you in the house. Welcome. Let me see. Let me get back here. So this is very fitting, but this is the part I really wanted to get to.
Is there a problem, people?
No problem at all, Mrs. Kennedy.
We were just discussing ideas of what to do with the new Prince Eric movie.
Put a ticket in, make her gay.
Yes, Miss Kennedy, some of the execs are just expressing that maybe...
Well, that maybe we should go a different route than we did with Indiana Jones.
Fuck Indiana Jones! Put a ticket in, make her name it gay!
Now, if you see what they were doing, look at the bottom, and some would say that oh man, all the politics and this and that, and again, when it comes down to what they're doing, this is buck breaking actually. So what Kathleen Kennedy is doing is forcing agendas into old childhood. Which you're talking about comic books that are normally geared toward. I can't recall ever going to anybody's house and seeing little girls with comic books. Usually, your friends' little sisters have dolls, not comic books. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, if you had friends with sisters and they had comic books, and they probably was out climbing trees with you. And probably like what you like now. Chances are. Blueberry Muffin said, I had dolls. Right. We play with, you got comic books? You got waiting for the new issue of Spider-Man to come out? I mean, what you have to recognize is what she's doing. Blade is there's nothing soft about Blade. And so, and what they'll do, because again, this is one of those, we're going to try to propel our female characters. And so what, after this pander harder thing has happened, do you know what Kathleen Kennedy turned around and did? She doubled down on, we're going to go ahead and put out this Rey movie of Star Wars, which for those people who watch Star Wars were not a huge fan of those last 3 movies. And now they're going to be doing another one, which I think most people would say, hey, what about maybe you should put more money and better money into other things. And see, this is what they are saying. This is why they are getting at Kathleen Kennedy. The other thing that Kathleen Kennedy did was with this last Indiana Jones remake, trying to make the new the heir apparent of Indiana Jones a female, which makes no sense. You had a 70-year-old man jumping onto the back of a horse, which is crazy. It's like, really? He's gonna hop on this horse and just ride away, huh? Gonna go chase down something on horseback at 70-something years old. You got, come on, man. Come on, man. This is just bad. Just bad. But nonetheless, that's what's been happening. Put an agenda on everything. And then when people get tired of the agenda, what do? Oh man, that's all woke and woke and this and all this woke stuff and woke. And it's woke. It ain't woke. It's just white people being white. That ain't got nothing to do with the term that was coined in our community that is now for some reason being hijacked to woke is the new black. But now everybody's trying to say woke, because now if you say black, then you have an identifier. You use woke, which is this term that everybody can just grift off of, because technically there's no definition other than becoming aware of one's own self, and which of course is steeped in gods of the earth. You're talking absolute black culture, the Asiatic black man and all. Man, this has nothing to do with feminism, no bell hooks, or the rainbow Skittles bag community. It has nothing to do with it. Oh, something else that wasn't there? We wasn't talking about a bunch of Puerto Rican stuff either, because there wasn't none there. It was Afrocentric. So at the time of X-Clan, who was the hot Latino rapper? Oh, I know. Rico. Suave. Boy, that's why they always love Big Pun, and Fat Joe. Oh, y'all forgot one. Now, granted, let's give Kid Frost. Kid Frost was out. This is for the raza. So that's what, about 1993-ish. So shoot, Kid Frost around the same time as Fat Joe. So, yep, no win there. Yep, Gerardo still got you guys beat. Rico. Suave. It almost reminds me, like, for those of you who remember Yahweh Ben Yahweh, Rico, Suave, Yude, Yudave, Yahweh. Oh my Lord, that dude was something. That dude was a trip. There was some Israelite gimmick artists out there in the past, family, let me tell you. So there's still some today. That's another thing for people to understand. All the different Israelite groups, there is one. And maybe a few more, but there's one that is not in the pack with everybody else because they don't do that. Shout out to Great Millstone. If you want to see which way people's going to be swaying and we're going to lump up over here, guess who won't be there? Because there's some wisdom going around somewhere. Saying that doesn't seem wise, but whatever. See, we there's also this thing that we do is sensationalize the moment. And don't get me wrong, there are sensational moments, but you are in a marathon, not a sprint. So, there will be today's events, sensational events, and then there will be another day's sensational events. You know what I mean? But you got to take it all in stride, as they say. Now, let's see. Where do I want to go next? I guess I'm going to go to, I think we're going to hit rolling. I think it might be time for rolling, and then we're going to take a look at one of the main reasons why Black folks was waking up and getting some sense, because sister girl is
So I'm
not
not
your
going to sit here and say
sister
I'm going to
girl.
do something that's only going to benefit Black people. No.
Fan beat Rico Suave. See Terry in the house. I see you. Welcome. Real quick, again, another little quick dip off of the topic. This right here was a very interesting thing on No Jumper, the podcast. They had this young rapper who I guess is, for all intents and purposes, a Crip, and he kept it G. And this is one thing, I guess, in the current time where you have the Keefy D's and all of these other people going out there and incriminate themselves on these different platforms, because you got the yo, I'm with the hip hop and I'm down with you. Yo, I'm a white boy from the hood, son. Yo. So you start feeling a little comfortable and get real loose talking to this outsider about inside business. And so let this young man show y'all, number one, young man, this is the first thing. Now, if you wasn't getting paid to be here, I get it. For him, it's a career move, but I'm glad that he handled this question, because I wish somebody would interview me like that. Like, man, you finna get lambasted live on TV with this. Like, oh, so this is how you do. So, like, do you call the police before or after? But check this out.
I saw this
family.
video that alleged that it was you involved in this crazy ass shootout. What was that situation? Maybe it might not have been you. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I don't think it was me.
Okay. But that wasn't related to any of the cases that you caught? Well played. Okay. So it's kind of hard to pick another question after that.
I've been so deep undercover with you Negroes slumming so long. I thought that old cop tactic would work. Get your police ass up out of here, man. What the hell? Who you talking to, dude? This dude in them streets. What you mean? Yeah. You see why he just looked at him? He just looked at him. No response. The only thing he said, yeah, I don't think that was me. Oh yeah, maybe that wasn't you. But I mean, was it part of like maybe some of the charges you caught? You know, because man, you got caught on video in this crazy shootout, right? I mean, man, was that you? What? What in the Fed time are you talking about? I mean, that's a whole. Hey, you got any cocaine? You have any of that methamphetamine? If you could, just speak into my collar a little bit. Oh, man. If you want some fentanyl, you just go downtown Portland for that. Go anywhere by the bus station, you're good. I'm not promoting that at all, but just letting you know the things that are going on in my neighborhood, because you could smoke fentanyl and do heroin on the sidewalk in broad ass daylight while business is going on, but you cannot camp and sleep while homeless people do, because that's the safest time for homeless people to sleep is in the daytime. Because the freaks and the prowlers and a lot of the bad people come out at night. And why would you sleep so vulnerable being homeless to be harmed, nibbled on by rats or worse? But like I said, they want you awake doing your drugs during business hours. So you cannot camp out and sleep on the street when you need to be safe. And I mean, you know, I'm not saying that seeing tents all over the place or somebody sleeping on the street is in the daytime is cool, but you have to understand the circumstance that they are in. And that's the circumstances that they are in. So we have a whole daytime camping ban while you can go do your drugs in broad ass daylight. I mean, I'm talking about like in front of the parole building. They be right out there in front of the parole building. Shoot. There's people at the police station. I've seen people just post it on the side of the police station. Like, damn. So, yeah. Tell me nothing. Oh, Lord. So let's get here. Let's see where we at. Okay. First. Okay, I'll start here. I mean, we're going to walk through this event.
I was talking to Terrence Woodbury. His research last year showed that Black male voter turnout in North Carolina played a role in the Republican keeping his United States Senate seat.
Now, that's important because, again, remember some of the things that they'll say to us. Like I said, that whole echo chamber nonsense. We live in we talking in an echo chamber. That message is no one's hearing it now. Get out of here. Yeah, there's so many people hearing it that it's becoming an issue for a certain community that wanted to get its hands on it. And now we see kind of one of the reasons that they wanted to get their hands on it is to start intermixing other people. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like tethers, to which you will not go unscathed this evening either. But right now we're sticking to I believe, an American-born tether in Roland Martin. Because see, in North Carolina, the vote with the black voter turnout, especially the black male vote turnout, it actually helped the Republican win. Well, those people who didn't vote at all don't give a damn. So what you need to do is figure out how this works. So I think Roland Martin is now starting to accept that he will not be able to shame black people back into voting for the Democrats. So now he has gone full-blown White House correspondent on his own with his Black Star Network, which now I guess I see that on like my free channels on my TV. So I guess he done dangled that. Good guy. I mean, hey, what was that? Pluto or Tubi? I don't know because they all show in my feed. So, you know, how these new TVs work. These new TVs don't even have numbers on the remote controls no more. What type of time are we in? Like, have you seen a TV with like, you know where my remote is for that thing, but nothing has buttons. It just has your good pad, and that's about it. You got your your things for where you're gonna go for your YouTube and whatnot, but yeah, ain't no numbers. But let's get back to rolling. Matter of fact, that's the part that I wanted you to hear the intro. Now I'm gonna get to his speaker.
Yeah, that's the actual data. So part of the thing when you hear people talk about, oh, what's happening with black male voters, is you have to understand this is not a national issue, but it also depends on the critical states. We also heard the myth that black men were not voting for Stacey Abrams. Well, after the election, the data was parsed, and that simply wasn't true. That was a fallacy that was being promoted, but it wasn't factual. So the question is,
yeah, it was being promoted to be a bashing tool against black men. So that also does not help the Democratic Party that it's the Democratic Party shills coming out with that talking point. Now, with what he's saying, does that kind of make sense why Tiffany Cross and all of those people have kind of been cycled on out? You see how they just spun that table real quick. Up, abandoned ship. Like, look, going into 2023, that whole shaming black men thing is dead, baby. And cis black men is an insult. I am simply a man. Foundational black American man. Come on now. Let these people, you know, and that's the other thing. We define ourselves. So it's like, yeah, there's no getting in the mix. So I think Roland is starting to see the writing on the wall that, yeah, buddy, you got issues. And it's gonna be drying up on you real fast for the Shields, man. Really, 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 really fast. Oh, thank you, sister. Sister Queen Nile with the $20 super sticker. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be upon you and yours. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Yeah, foundational black American all day. Blueberry Mother said cross. Black Spire said, wow. That's like Seattle. Our zombies here got more rights than black people and don't go to jail. Well, yeah, I believe we're the innovator of those laws. And then, because it'll probably start here. And it happens vice versa as well. So, between Oregon and Washington, if it happens in one state, guarantee the next go around it'll be happening in the next state. So it's gonna be pretty uniform around here. One thing I that is crazy is that y'all, like, if y'all have any understanding on how like California and Washington is, they have their liquor stores and their grocery stores. Here, and they pump their own gas, which recently we finally passed the law to pump our own gas, and you can't find a gas station to pump your own gas at all. The other thing is the control of the liquor in this state is by the OLLC, and they had a big old scandal. There's a bunch of family members in there, so they got this real cold hustle that goes on. So because see, again, here's the thing: you have liquor stores, and they control the market. Up in California and Washington, you can get a liquor license and have you a convenience store, and you can sell liquor. That's where everybody else gets. So that puts so many more people in the business role. If you want to be a convenience store or liquor store operator, if that's your forte, or that's your get down, there's money to be made. But they say it's a business. Washington State has a liquor and a cannabis board. See, I don't believe we have a cannabis board. I believe that's still under the liquor. Again, it's real. Things is real tricky, and then those are the people who that same little monopoly are the same people who give licenses out for and approve you being able to be a shop owner and put that stamp on you so you can make money off of legal cannabis products. Which, if you've ever been to Portland, Oregon, we probably have as many weed shops here as Amsterdam. Y'all don't think you're going to go anywhere. Like, we have more liquor still, or no, we don't have as many. We have the pot shops. We have more pot shops in this city than we have 7-Elevens. Maybe 7-Elevens and Plaid Pantry combined, to be quite honest. There is nothing here that outweighs the volume of that. And there's, as far as I know, one or maybe two Black-owned cannabis shops out of all of these. Oh, yeah, not to mention, we just had a whole nother situation with Shamia Fagan getting caught up. All these Democratic politics. And I'm in a supposed liberal state. But see, they pick all of these little different avenues so they can control them. So then they dictate who can make money and who can't. That's the problem. And those policymakers here in my state, they suck. Because nobody's going against that. And they're trying to already overturn our vote for pumping our own gas. They're already trying to overturn it. So they're like, damn what the public won't. This is a big, we're losing our hustle. Wait a minute. So yeah, don't let these people lie to you. So let me see. Let me go up here. Where's okay. Because he's gonna get to he don't take long to get to what's really on his mind.
And what I have heard from a lot of Black men is that all they've heard is Black girl magic, Black girl magic, Black girl magic, Black girl magic, as if Black men are also not voting. Now, are Black women voting at a high rate? Yes. But that refrain is a turnoff to some Black men who feel as if they are deemed irrelevant. Your thoughts?
No, I would agree with you wholeheartedly, but I also would encourage our brothers to understand that we can't have our feelings hurt so easily when it comes to who's quote unquote getting the credit for saving the democracy.
That's not about getting credit. brother. See, that's see what they're trying to do is you slick tongue. Now you're being weaselly. Because no, sir. This isn't people worrying about credit. We're not voting because we want credit. We want something for our vote. So you see that tricky little slick mess he did there? Here's another thing that I don't know why they keep trying to tell this lie that black men are so one of the key things for black men is abortion. What? I can't have one. I mean, so what does that say? Like, oh, you black men just want to be irresponsible. And you'll call it that when it's us. But nonetheless, listen to what this dude is saying. And family, I will show you. Let me just show you what he looked like. This is who's talking. Yeah. That's the fellow who's speaking right now. Yeah. So, okay.
We have to do what we have to do, regardless of who's being lauded for your voting here or the higher percentage turnout. But I also would
what he told you is black men voted at a high number, just not as much as the women. That is not a conversation of being ignored. Your messaging was not only black girl magic, but it was black men ain't shit. That's the full message that you were pushing. And you pushed it and pushed it and pushed it. Just like some of the people who were here in my city trying to make career moves, looking at, let me jump into this intersectional black male bashing arena to see if I can get my Cynthia G on. To which, by the way, that move is very low vibrational, low level, and trash. For those of you who would possibly get wind of this and be that hit dog, I mean you. Boy, we had this joke writer woman here. Husband's a comedian. Got a bunch of black children. And she was sitting up here online every day talking about how bad black men were. You have sons, ma'am. Sons now that, as they get maybe the wheels will spin in your mind and recognize that the rest of the world is going to look at your son just as viciously as you're speaking of black men right now. Also, that could be your husband. So this was not, it's not, oh, they're lauding me. No. Remember, black men are the white supremacists to the black community. Y'all, I mean, what are we talking about? Well, I don't understand what the message. Yes, you do. And it ain't about, well, man, we can't be getting our feelings hurt. No, kick rocks, partner. Because this ain't about feelings. Matter of fact, that's what has black folks continuously voting for the Democrats, is just that. Feelings, emotion. Well, our family died for it and blah, blah, stop. So let's hear some more propaganda.
encouraged Democratic pundits, Democratic analysts, and so forth to put more resources into ensuring that black males, one, are not only registered to vote, but also that they feel appreciated in their vote. So, I mean, two things can be true. Brothers can't be so sensitive when it comes to who's getting the credit for electing whom, but also there needs to be efforts and mechanisms made to ensure that we feel appreciated and valued when we do go out and vote.
If you don't slap yourself, fool, No, we don't need to feel appreciated for our vote. We need tangibles for our vote. Stupid. Do you hear the things that they keep selling us? This dude is really trying to tell us, well, we need to feel appreciated. Let's say next time, black man, good job. You did good, black man. What the hell are you talking about? Feeling appreciated. Number one, how about see what they keep doing? They keep making it about the black voter not doing something. This is about the politicians who were voted into office not doing what they are supposed to for our vote. Simple as that. Ain't nobody worried about accolades. Who needs accolades? We need tangibles. Reparations ain't accolades. Reparations is cash payments. Hard, cold cash, baby. And some justice and punishment for anti-black hate. You understand what I'm saying? Now let's hear some more.
But I agree, and I absolutely agree with that. But perception does become reality.
That can be true. Brothers, efforts and mechanisms made to ensure that we feel appreciated and valued when we do go out and vote.
I
Did he really just do that? Oh no. Oh no. Did he just do that, family?
And valued when we do go out and vote.
I agree, and I absolutely agree with that. But perception does become reality, and we have to contend with this reality as well. And that is when we're talking about what they're hearing. And let's talk about the Biden administration. Oftentimes, Biden talks about, I said I was going to put a black woman on the Supreme Court, and I did. Absolutely right. Should have happened. Judge Ketanji Brown Jackson. Obama should have appointed a sister when he chose Merrick Garland. I was very clear.
Yeah, he should have. But that's who Obama is. Obama didn't give a damn about no black folks then. Still don't now. That's why people ain't rocking with what he talking about. You can't roll him out and be like, he's some kind of inspiration for the next generation. And think about this. It is 2023. Barack Obama's been out of office in 2016. Technically 2017. He has lost his luster as the first black president with foundational black Americans already. Do you know how bad of a job you have to do to pull that off? You know how much black folks have to look at you and be like, God, dog, you didn't do shit. But everything and shored up all of this other stuff for everybody else to, guess what? Turn around 10 years later and start dumping back on black folks for how you set them up, made sure they were good. And now they'll be like, oh man, black folks are anti this and they anti that. And we have to look at all of this anti whatever in the black community. Have we not heard this? So yeah, thanks, Barack.
On that. Biden talks about putting more black women on the appellate courts than all presidents combined. But one of the things that I've said to the Biden administration, you don't have a prominent black male surrogate.
Yes.
Hell no. This is my girlfriend. I'm Cory Booker and I'm running for president. Here's my I'm single, but here's my single girlfriend, Rosaria Dawson. And now you got Hakeem Jeffries, like I said, Frankenstein. Hakeem Jeffrey gives fiery speech. Stop it. And that's Roland Martin's. The speech I played for y'all last week? They called that a fiery speech. Are you kidding? you trying to put perfume on a pig there, Roland? No, that dog don't dance.
And I'm like, when I look, and again, I'm just being very clear. When I look at who is head of the OE, sister, look at the vice president, sister, and let me be real clear. I'm not knocking any of that.
No. Vice president is an Indian, but let's continue.
But what I am saying, if you're the Biden-Harris administration and you're trying to reach black men, who are they sending out who's a brother?
And here it is, family. Here it is. He didn't take long to get to this point at all now, did he? So who are they sending out? I mean, I'm right here in D.C. I'm right here by the White. Who? Roland, you need to stop it. So again, what Roland Martin is doing, this ain't got nothing to do about giving a damn about black folks or our agenda. This is all about Roland wanting to be the celebrity that he believes he should be. Are y'all understanding what I mean here? Roland Martin was already on TV. He thought that was he was finna be doing the like daily talk show thing by now. See, I'm sure that was probably already on a vision board somewhere in his house. My own talk show, I have my own TV show. It'd be like beep 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 Arsenio. With this theme song that sounds like a remake of the Martin theme song, and it got the girl from In Vogue singing on it. Uncle Rara. I bet you if somebody's, hey, because some of these people, they do take notice, and they probably watching. So Roland Martin, if you're one of the few that's up over there on the East Coast right now, he probably
A ver,
like
hijo de la
this right
chingada,
now.
deja de estar viendo memes, pendejo.
¡A la verga, me vale verga, perro! ¡Y cálate a la verga, hija de tu puta madre, a la verga! ¡La verga, vergazos!
Who can talk to brothers?
Now look, who can talk to brothers? Oh, you mean the ones you always busy cussing out, Negro? Oh my goodness! Look at this dude's face. Now I'm right here, and y'all need to you need to cut me a check. This is sad. This is sad pandering, man.
I'm not here to cape.
No. Follow me.
Let me answer the question.
No. Follow me here, because he's like, I'm not here to cape for the dude. Yeah, okay.
Right. I'm not caping for any party.
He's not.
I'm giving an example of how campaigns and candidates need to understand your messengers are kind of important when you're trying to reach certain groups.
Is Roland Martin trying hard enough for a job here, or what, ladies and gentlemen? Is he working hard for it, or what, ladies and gentlemen? Now, come on now. You need to spend some of that money over here with this Black Star Network. Now, let's see, if you want the messaging to talk to the brothers, you think the brothers is listening to Roland Martin? They already know you a laughing stock and have no juice. What are you talking about? Nobody's going after what Roland Martin is talking about politically at this point, especially after you stupid fools. Been out here and sold the whole voting contingency going to be like, where what they need to do is, you're burnt. You're bad news, dude. You're a bad deal. You would be a waste of money. They've wasted enough. You don't even remember the black network, TV network that never got off the ground. They gave them chicks $10 million. But we saw, they tethers, and this is a whole nother agenda. Nope. And so that ended up getting shelved. They had to figure out what to do with Mano. They gave him that little money, so now they had to rework that agenda and put him up with Angela Yee. They've been trying to throw everything at the kitchen sink. Don't get it twisted. And this is about you, ladies and gentlemen. You who are watching this broadcast right now, that is what all this is about. But this right here, oh man, this right here, ladies and gentlemen, this is what it looks like when you all about your damn self. Okay, because this is just one video. There's another one. He's talking to another person. I want you to see how fast he gets to the money that should be going to him. Never mind all of these other black voices out here. No. What they need to do is you need to get over here and start talking to me.
Yeah, and I think the Biden administration would say when they send out a brother like the former mayor of Columbia, South Carolina, Mayor Steve Benjamin, who's the head of African American engagement, like Vince Evans, who's over helping assist with the CBC and whatnot. They would, in my personal estimation, would say those are the persons who they're sending out to the black male community and saying you need to be engaged in some regard, the Antoine C. Rice of the world and so forth. Now,
you know what's so funny is I think these guys were on two different agendas and conversations. So when Roland was trying to use this moment to pivot to try to pop his collar at a career for the White House and get some Democratic chips, this dude was on a whole different page. So he obviously was, getting out with, and this is Dr. Wes Bellamy. This is what this dude's name is. Dr. Wes Bellamy, chair of advocacy, 100 Black Men of America Incorporated. Okay. And so, yeah. Did you notice that Roland Martin was trying to really work it up to so where he's like, we should be getting the money and they should be spending the money with me. But this dude just mentioned a whole list of other people who were not Roland Martin. So as Roland Martin is trying to build it up to boast himself, this dude just dropped all these other names. I think that's who they would really think that are going to talk to the black men. You're on Roland Martin's program. Roland Martin, even your guest says, I'm pretty sure they wouldn't be sending you. I mean, oh, that is hilarious. This dude just ran right past this Negro. Oh, let's see how Roland recovers.
Was that enough? Absolutely not. And just like I know, there needs to be more resources, not only poured into advocating for black males to be engaged in the voting process, but courting black males to stay engaged and being educated on why they need to be voting and or supporting the Biden administration if they so choose to. Here's another thing, though, I think we have to be candid about. There are a ton of misinformation programs and initiatives that are
absolutely.
And I cannot tell you how often I serve as the chairman of the Housing Authority Board where I live here in Charlottesville. I can't tell you how often when I'm in particular communities, how much misinformation is shared and how often I hear brothers now saying, maybe I should take a look at the other side because they're supporting us in some regard because of some misinformation in which they've heard.
Yep.
First off, the only side that black men are on black folks' side. That's not. See how how they like to keep you thinking in this box of left and right. So even the way they approach conversation is leading, because what they're doing is telling you, well, you basically have these two formats, and over here is where we are, and over here is where they are, and they are being misled and misguided by these people. And then the Russian people came in, and Russia started targeting the black men. No, okay, once again, Democrat shills, listen good. This strategy is why you're losing. You cannot tell people lies anymore. You have to deliver. And that's why I'm glad we are in the time we are in, and why people like Roland Martin are so doggone nervous.
So yes, there has to be resources, as you often allude to, being placed to specifically court, as my grandmother would say, the black male vote. But I think collectively, Black folk as a whole need not be taken for granted. And that's where you see organizations like the 100 Black Men and others, the Urban League, NAACP, some of your legacy organizations, also new organizations like, again, Brothers Matter and so forth, putting in the work on the ground to ensure that our brothers are educated so that they can make a decision that best suits them.
And again, I'm a firm believer that misinformation is able to take hold when you have an absence of counter information.
Yes.
So yet we have to recognize that that is real. And Russia was very keen on spreading misinformation and specifically targeting Black people and Black men in 2020.
With what? With what? I mean, if you're going to say that Black men fell for misinformation, again, what is he doing? So, excuse me, Black people, Black men are not intelligent enough. So when you say, oh, you know, there are educated Black people out here, right? There's educated Black women and there's educated Black men. But Black men, when it comes to politics, are so absolutely uneducated. You know, that kind of goes very much against the Black male patriarchy narrative, then, if that's true. I guess we want to have it both ways, but at the end of the day, plain Black men anyway. Woo, boy, I tell you, and Roland Martin is just really, really trying hard to get this check. Boy, DNC, throw him some crumbs.
Questions from the panel on Congo, you're first.
It's great to talk to you, Dr. Bellamy. I'm a big supporter of your work. I have a question relating to the hip hop community. One of my concerns as it relates to the Black male vote is that I'm starting to see more rappers coming out in support of Trump. I'm looking at Kivo, Waka Flocka Flame, Kodak Black, Sexy Red. And one of my concerns is that these are some of the people that are going to be driving away some of the youth vote, particularly.
Listen to how they are speaking, as if the Black youth are like there's just some kind of Democrat farm, and with the Negroes we gonna breed Democrats over here. This is a breeding farm that he is referring to. The hell is wrong with these people? Like they saying the quiet part out loud nowadays. I guess for the most part, most people don't know what they're hearing. But look at this dude who's saying this right now. This is who is speaking. Take that as you will.
In our community, which also ties into the last segment. And on the same side, I'm not hearing enough from members of the hip hop community that who are anti-Trump. What are your thoughts as it relates to outreach, as it relates to the hip hop community?
Why is the hip hop community supposed to be anti anybody? What does hip hop have to do with politics for a party? Hip hop has always been about Black empowerment. So where now does all these hip hop, and we're hearing them, they're talking about Trump. And so where are the people that should be coming out for the Democrats? You guys forget to cut the checks? Only with Black folks do you ever want free advertisement. And this is the big something for nothing. I guess this is one way where they could still feel like they have you enslaved. Because you're getting something for nothing, you're doing something for free, and you're elevating a power and a system and a financial base that will spend all of these billions of dollars to replace you as that same base that put them in position in the first place. And then you'll have brain dead, buck dancing Sambos, which will come out and tell you, why it's us, and then they talking about going over to the other side.
Buck dancing, shuffling, scratching, bootlicking, bamboozling, Uncle Tom Negro.
Boozled.
Well, I actually posted about this on my Instagram page a couple weeks ago, and I think it's something for us to pay a great deal of attention to. Sexy Red, as you alluded to, came out and stated that, well, yeah, in the hood, people love Trump. Yeah, we love Trump. We're riding with Trump. Trump sent us those checks. You heard a rapper like Lil Durk say in his record, his smash hit, All My Life with J. Cole, say people talk about those stimulus, but they really came through in the trenches. And a lot of folks, due to misinformation and not understanding that Congress, not the person 45, actually disseminated and sent the checks to the American people during the times of COVID. And because individuals aren't educated on how this process works and how resources and stimulus resources.
Here's again, this black men. Hey, all of you in the chat, you don't know nothing. You just don't know anything about politics. And so your mind is just so easily swayed because you really don't have any solid balance in your life. And, the basic learning tools that you have that comes with years of experience being on this earth, none of that is relevant because, you will be so easily influenced by just a simple ad or article that you may see online because your little simple minds, your black male minds are just so simple. Disgusting. And this is what you want to do to try to get, this is how you talk about the people you were trying to entice.
Sources, if you will, are actually put in the hands of our communities because by and large, the Democratic Party doesn't do a good enough job of educating people on the ground or empowering or resourcing those who are on the ground to educate folks. Then again, you have misinformation that's spread. So when it comes to the hip hop community as a whole, one, I don't think it's fair, quote unquote, not saying this is what you're saying, but I don't think it's fair for us to say that we should be looking for rappers and entertainers to politically educate us, although they do have a voice.
That has absolutely been the one thing that we have went away from. Nobody is taking their cues from an entertainer. Now, let me go back to something he said about the stimulus checks. Didn't the president have to still sign that? So I don't understand how you see. Here's what they keep trying to do. For the things that black people did benefit from under Trump, they keep trying to act like as if it wasn't him. Like with, I guess, see, here's the biggest thing that no Democrat can ever bolster over Trump. You ain't did nothing for the people who have all of this extra time, and you made sure that no one got out of prison. That man did that much. Second thing is, Trump is the only sitting president that I can recall crossing my ears saying, "You black people built America." Because we have a president sitting right now in office to when he was asked on his election trail what he felt about reparations, he immediately started talking about immigrants and how we needed to respect immigrants, and immigrants built this nation, which is a blatant lie. It is not true. So with that being said, we hear what this dude is saying. I'm just playing a
I
little
would
more.
say that you have individuals like Jeezy, you have individuals like Jay-Z, you have individuals like Method Man and so forth, who have been vocal about the need for us to be on the front lines and voting with our brains and not just the misinformation that we're receiving on social media. So there is some combat.
Here's the thing that they are, and this is why I don't like people like this. They keep trying to chalk everything up to messaging. Democrats are not losing black male voter support and increasing black women's support because of messaging. That's not the case. When people are at the man, you might want to go to some of these politicians' Twitter or X feeds and see how much and see what's being said to these people, to the Sheila Jackson Lees that make all of these so-called heartwarming posts for all these other groups and ignore black people. See what's going on in their timeline, and then keep telling yourself that that's about messaging. These people, the Congressional Black Caucus, all have X pages. So you could go to their page and see their messaging. If they wanted to talk to black people, they simply could. They don't. They just don't. While being labeled the Congressional Black Caucus. Well, they can kiss my black ass. And so, again, let me play a little more. Grief, what's going on here? All right. Okay, if this stops tripping here, I'll just do this. Hold on. Bear with me, family. Bear with me. Okay, here it is. Now, this is on the same show. Now, he ends up talking to this other dude. If it plays.
I have been very clear on this. And again, I've been saying this for years. And that is if anybody who's black running, they cannot use the exact same playbook that Obama used. And here's what I mean by that. There was a 9-point gap between black men and black women in Obama's reelection with Romney in 2012. There was some dissatisfaction there. Whether we want to own it or not, there were a lot of people who felt that more could have been done. And so part of the issue that Democrats have that black candidates are gonna have to deal with, and again, I believe that Senator Cory Booker and Senator Kamala Harris tried to use the Obama playbook when they ran for president in 2020. That sucker didn't work. It didn't work. And so guess what? It's been used one time. It ain't going to work again. Black voters are going to be making demands of any black candidate because they're going to say, hey, we see how we voted for Obama. That's just a fact.
Well, that's very interesting, Roland, because now he's saying that black folks are going to demand something out of a black candidate. Here's the thing. We're going to demand something out of these white ones, too. Yeah, everybody is free smoke for all. Oh no. All y'all need to kick in and pay up. That is simple as that. Now, let me fast forward because he's going to get to the money real quick.
The fundamental problem with the Democratic Party today is white media consultants refuse to listen to black people, listen to black consultants, listen to black posters, refuse to put the resources in early, and then they expect black people to come save their asses come mid to late October.
I mean, you said it perfectly. I think one of the most recent sort of research experiments we put together speaks to this. We ran what's called a conjoint experiment on a national poll of Black folk. This is something that I don't know if has ever been done before, where we asked respondents, this is only Black respondents, to select between two candidates as we varied the different characteristics of those candidates. And so if the last slide, I brought some slides, the last slide could be put up. What we found is that of those candidates, here are sort of the...
Let's take a look at that. Now, let's see how that's actually looking. The conjoint experiment results. So support the black, they support. Feature importance. Race. Gender is very low. Gender is the least. Age the least. Years in politics. And relative. Occupation, not really important, but you got to be in support. And I don't know what this Black Lives Matter support. I guess that might be like, oh, Black Lives Matter support. But I mean, that really means just like, it means anybody, you know, like we're ally of BLM. No, BLM is an organization. You be an ally of Black people. Ain't nobody worried about no damn Black men. Don't give a shit about no Black Lives Matter, the organization. There are absolutely two opposed groups. Democratic Party endorsement, 7.4%. Meaning that this group, and look at the age, Black, this is a Black female, 45. 8 years in politics, occupation, state legislator, ally of Black Lives Matter, endorsed by Bernie Sanders, served in the military. And all of those things, like what they're pushing, Democratic Party endorsement and veteran status, though veteran status and years in politics have probably the most, which is still extremely marginal, versus race and support of Black empowerment, because that's what that means. Ain't no ally and no Black Lives Matter. Nobody give a damn about no Black Lives Matter, dude. But so when people answering that question, that means Black empowerment, which a big key component of Black empowerment would be reparations.
Characteristics that were shown to be the most important when it came to selecting a candidate for Black respondents on a national poll, right? And so, of course, they wanted a Black person, wanted a female.
No, they did not. Now, see, again, now that's a lie. Because again, look at, they wanted a female. This is where this is being this is where the funny business is occurring. Because where do you see gender as a major thing? Gender was the very least. So saying that they wanted a female, a Black female with 8 years in politics, family, no, and served in the military. I don't know who actually that fits. But for all intents and purposes, that's like a mix of Michelle Obama and a few others. No, I don't think so. So you're polling for, well, this is all of Black folks. So I wonder where you got this at with Black men, that black men wanted a black woman president.
Years of experience in politics. Pick someone who's a state legislator compared to some other occupations. Was important that someone was an ally of the Black Lives Matter movement. Actually preferred someone endorsed by Sanders rather than endorsed by Biden, and preferred someone who was a veteran. And so as you see on the left side here of the findings, right, the most important factors here when deciding between potential candidates was someone's support for Black Lives Matter, someone's race, and someone's years in politics. And so
how did
trying
you
to
make
build
that a woman?
perfect candidate is going to be a really hard sell, and it's going to be really difficult for Democrats to find someone who fits that same mold, if not impossible, as you mentioned, right? And so I'm really encouraging through my research other ways to look at turning Black folk out. And one of the most important factors, aside from sort of this Obama factor, this great hope factor, is actually threat, and looking at how perceptions of threat can push people to the polls in lieu of this sort of magical candidate that creates the same inspiration that we saw once during the Obama administration.
Smoke and mirrors, family. Smoke and mirrors. That's how we're going to get black people to the polls. Smoke and mirrors. And, you know, if nothing else, then we'll just scare them to the polls. I mean, this dude literally said it. Like, they're saying the quiet part out loud now. They just don't care anymore. Clearly, they don't care. And so, with that being said, the coup de grace of the evening. Your vice president, the first Indian American Jamaican president, Kamala Harris, had an appearance on 60 Minutes. I don't know why, but you know. So we're going to take a look at that interview and what she had to say, understanding that Joe Biden is up in years, but he ain't dead yet.
Israel has begun what Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu calls the second stage of the war by expanding its military ground operations in Gaza. We spoke with Vice President Kamala Harris this past week as the Biden administration was trying to balance Israel's need to retaliate against Hamas with the urgent need to get relief to the Palestinian people. Vice President Harris told us she is also involved in the administration's efforts on the war in Ukraine, as well as countless intractable problems, including gun violence at home. But with the Middle East on a razor's edge, we started our conversation there.
The story will continue in a moment.
How close is this to becoming a regional conflict that could draw in U.S. troops?
We have absolutely no intention, nor do we have any plans to send combat troops into Israel or Gaza, period.
Vice President Harris told us the U.S. is not telling Israel what to do, but is providing advice, equipment, and diplomatic support.
But they could tell you what to do in America because you could go to jail if you boycotted Israel in 37 states in America. Ain't that something?
Terrorist organization, Hamas, slaughtered hundreds of young people at a concert. By most estimates, at least 1,400 Israelis are dead. Israel, without any question, has the right to defend itself. That being said, it is very important that there be no conflation between Hamas and the Palestinians. The Palestinians deserve equal measures of safety and security, self-determination and dignity.
Of course they do. Now, moving on.
One word, pretty straightforward.
Adversaries, the Pentagon has also deployed 2 imposing aircraft carrier strike groups to the region. And what's the message to Iran?
Don't.
As President Biden said, just don't.
Exactly. One word, pretty straightforward.
You know, people. Here's something that you need to know about supremacists. They're arrogant. Their arrogance lasts until the end. So you understand that. They'll be proudly going to the end. You have no chance of winning. Like, America is not in the position to bully anybody right now. And after deplete, do you understand what America going to war looks like right now? You depleted all of your defenses to Ukraine. America's so butt naked right now, it ain't funny. And on top of that, you're not making friends. Everybody keep forgetting about what's that? BRICS? Everybody keep forgetting about BRICS. And then here's the other thing, and shout out to Bernie Sanders for actually keeping it a buck about Benjamin Netanyahu. Because I seen Bernie Sanders speak up on Capitol Hill about how Benjamin Netanyahu was currently under investigation for gross corruption. Now all of a sudden, we're sending him money for his war while his trial is halted.
Since the Hamas attack on Israel, the vice president says she has spoken with President Isaac Herzog of Israel and joined President Biden on calls with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas. President Joe Biden told us in a statement, this is as high stakes and complex a situation as it gets, and Kamala is my partner in all of it. He told us.
Then you're doomed. This is not a match made for any kind of war with any major group on the planet. This is okay. We're moving into that territory to when I already told y'all they were setting up a bunch of positions and putting black faces in these positions. So when all goes to shit, they all can point at these black faces in high places. There's a reason they did this, because I guess look at it this way, like a reparations contingency plan. We got to pay these Negroes. Oh boy, we're going to have to do something. So what better way? Let's start two conflicts that we're now going to fund while bringing in all of these illegals over the border who have not been vetted. So here's the point. Go down there. You could go from Afghanistan to South America and make your way into the States. You could be unloading billions of terrorists into this country. All because you want to keep black folks from doing something. That's literally what all this is about, family. I hope y'all see it for what it is. Dark-skinned brother in the house, thank you for the super sticker, brother. Shout out to you, my brother. Peace, power, blessings, and protection be up on you. Yes, sir. Shout out to you, my bro. Let's see. Let's listen to a little more.
Thus, Harris's advice and counsel are invaluable. When he was vice president, Mr. Biden.
Hey, by the way, for those who didn't know, guess who's over immigration? This chick here. She's supposed to be the border czar. Yeah.
Famously said that he wanted to be the last person in the room with President Obama.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have that relationship with President Biden?
I do.
You do?
I do. And I take that responsibility quite seriously.
How often do you meet with him? They're in total agreement the U.S. must stand with Israel and Ukraine, two democracies under attack.
We are as committed
Democracies under attack
to Ukraine as we've always been, to authorize additional aid to defend itself against Russia's unprovoked aggression that is not going to waver.
See, she just threw that line in there. Russia was not unprovoked. Russia was very much provoked. America right now is just being America. You're showing yourself to the world. As the Bible, the good book would say in Job 9, the earth was given into the hands of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, who and where is he? So he covered the faces of the judges thereof. That just told you right there who you were supposed to be looking for. Even the Bible told you who the wicked was. I mean, all that plagiarized stuff. Well, this is one thing that they definitely seem to got right. Plagiarism and all, whatever you say about the Bible. Oh, no, white man. Okay. Well, you explain to me how they came to that conclusion. That the earth was given into the hands of the wicked, and he covered the faces of the judges thereof. That means every judge that you could possibly think that was in power through now and all of the history, all the gods of Egypt and Jesus and all of these people, you see how their faces get covered with white skin? And now they're telling you in this country, listen, pay attention to what happens. Now we have in that curriculum, you start adding other things to it, maybe possibly perceive that being that you see how they are trying to get you from your history, don't you think they would do that there too? Got you so confused. But nonetheless, we're going to continue.
Does this war in the Middle East put Ukraine on a back burner?
Not for us. No, it does not put them on a back burner at all.
Vice President Harris has visited 19 countries and met with more than 100 world leaders. But lately, she has been the administration's point person on domestic priorities, traveling the country talking up the Democrats' key issues before the 2024 election. Issues she hopes will fire up the base, but are bound to inflame the GOP. She went to North Carolina to mark the anniversary of the Supreme Court overturning Roe v. Wade.
How dare they attack our fundamental rights? How dare they attack our freedom?
I'm sorry, I don't understand how you put abortion and fundamental in the same conversation. Fundamental death is fundamental death, ma'am. I don't understand. You're out here preaching. This is the land that literally preaches like this for death. Put them in power and see what happens. War. And anybody trying to get from under that umbrella of tyranny, when you could be prosecuted in 37 American states for boycotting Israel, that's another country's government. So it's kind of showing you when people say, like I said, when people say people run certain things and run everything, and they do, what we're going to tell you is all of y'all are white tie stuff. So just to keep it plain simple. Every last one of you white ties. That's all that we see.
In Virginia, it was guns.
Our nation is being torn apart by gun violence.
Is it mental health or is it gun violence? I don't know, because every time the gun violence incidents happens, when it's a mass deleter, you're immediately rushing to talk about mental health. So is it mental health crises of run, or is it a gun issue? I don't know. You let me know.
We joined the vice president and second gentleman, Doug Emhoff, on Air Force Two for a trip to Las Vegas. It was 5 days after the terror attack on Israel.
Welcome on board.
Thank you very, very much.
While in the air, the vice president joined a secure video call with the president.
Have you ever heard of the story of how they even got together in the first place? I haven't. I just wonder if there's some kind of story like, how did y'all hook up? life thing you got going on here with old Doug Emhoff.
President and their national security teams to discuss measures to keep the homeland safe. Once on the ground in Las Vegas, Vice President Harris went to the College of Southern Nevada, the 8th stop on her Fight for Our Freedoms college tour.
Because you voted, Joe Biden is President of the United States and I am Vice President of the United States. Because you voted.
You're at a college campus. How many of them was even eligible to vote for you at the time? I'm a freshman. I haven't even got a chance to vote in my first presidential election, but yay! I guess. Jeez.
But nationally, the Biden-Harris administration is not generating the kind of enthusiasm she's seeing on her tour. A recent CBS poll found that at the beginning of President Biden's term, 70% of young people, people under 30, said he was doing a good job.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's less than 50%. Why is that? What's going on?
If you poll how young people feel about the climate and the warming of our planet, it polls as one of their top concerns.
I guess she must be white people outside of America, because white teenagers. No. White teenagers, I see white teenagers. Well, right now the school is closed down, so there's a strike going on, but I see white teenagers passing every day going from the high school. Out of all of the random too loud in proximity conversations that I've heard, I have never, I can't say I have ever heard them talking about global warming. You know what these kids are talking about? They're talking about non-binary, and some of them are. And then we have the skaters, and then we have, I don't know. Here's another thing I'm noticing with the children. They're now wearing all of the baggy clothes. It's like real, like super duper wide leg jeans. It's real crazy. It's like, dang, black boys is wearing tights, denim tights, and the young white boys now is wearing the baggy clothes. It's like this is night and day. But I guess same times and things change. But damn. But yeah, young people, I would not perceive the heating of the climate.
When we talk about what we are doing with student loan debt, polls
you're not getting it done.
Very high. The challenge that we have as an administration is we got to let people know who brung it to them.
Here again, you see the conversation? And a coon laugh. Good grief. Look at that. Oh, Lord. The brutality of it all.
That's our challenge. But it is not that the work we are doing is not very, very popular with a lot of people.
She blames the disconnect in part on lack of media coverage. Still, the vice president herself is not very popular now.
Lack of media coverage? With CNN and NBC, what are you saying? Lack of media coverage. That's an outright lie. This is 60 Minutes. And I've seen this whole walkthrough with her and Al Sharpton, and then so here you guys are again. No, you're just in denial that there is a disconnect between you and this new community of voters. And you when people witness the disrespect and the backstabbiness nature of your benign neglect policies, you're doing all of your dirtball tactics within one generation. We all see you. You didn't even have the patience to wait for us to die off.
Just 41% of adults told CBS News they approve of the job she's doing, about the same for President Biden. We talked to her the day before the carnage in Maine, but she had told us issues like mass shootings are more important than poll numbers. You have a portfolio that includes gun violence, the root cause of migration. These are some of the most intractable issues facing the country.
We've done.
Yeah, we have so much that people are dying and trampling over people to get into this damn country. They're looking to run to the violence. Most importantly, man, they came here and couldn't wait to get to Chicago. They're in New York, all these violent areas. What about Chicago? What about Chicago? What about Chicago? See how the language has changed even? Not even saying the same things anymore. Yeah, because it was always overhyped, but now you're inundated in Chicago with a bunch of illegal invaders that you're putting money into, and there's other groups making money off of that wave. That is insane.
On some of the most significant gun safety laws in 30 years, but we still need an assault weapons ban. It doesn't have to be this way. There was an assault weapons ban at one time. It expired. Let's renew it.
Most Americans.
Yeah, only thing is, those are assault style weapons. I think, with the exception of this last mass, the main shooter, I believe that was an assault rifle. AR-15 is a assault style rifle. So you're not shooting the same type of ammunition either. But they know this, and they know the different particulars of it. So yes, there was an assault weapon ban. And then there's certain weapons like Tommy guns. You have to get a whole federal okay. Like the U.S. Marshals have to okay you to own a Tommy gun. And then on top of that, you ever use that mug or you get stolen from you, you're going to prison.
Can say that they don't think you're doing a good job on the border, you and the administration. The number of people trying to cross the U.S. southern border is at an all-time high.
It's no secret that we have a broken immigration system. Short term, we need a safe, orderly, and humane border policy. And long term, we need to invest in the root causes of migration. But the bottom line, Congress needs to act. Come on, participate in the solution instead of political gamesmanship.
No, deport them people and shore up your borders. We have laws in place that are protecting this. What you guys keep doing is ignoring the law. And so by ignoring the law, even with the whole DNA testing thing it was inhumane. And now when it's starting to register, like I hope that whole line with kids in cages. People are running to America to put their children in cages, or they're running to America taking someone else's kid just to get entry. These are the things that they will do. These are unvetted individuals coming into America. And I just can't help but notice it's literally right after you were over here making people take things to go to work. In some areas, you couldn't travel unless you had things in you. But here, all of these people could come over here without a thing in them. I mean, that kind of looks like a scheduled invasion sponsored by your own government.
If politics is a game, Kamala Harris has proven herself to be a savvy player, forging a career that has gone from one first to another. The child of an Indian mother and a Jamaican father, she was the first woman district attorney for San Francisco, the first woman to serve as California's attorney general, the first woman of color elected senator from California,
So help me God.
and the first woman and woman of color to be elected vice president of the United States.
She's a woman what? She's a woman of what now? Oh, she's a woman of color now. She's the first woman of color. Okay, so is this 60 Minutes making the move and the Democrats being very careful about moving away from calling her black and saying, oh, well, she's a woman of color? Judah Queen, freedom. When my mother was working and when I was little and I was in my stroller at the round stops.
Being in that unique position, being that first,
Yeah.
does that bring added pressure?
No doubt. No doubt. You know, my mother, she would say, Kamala, you may be the first to do many things. Make sure you're not the last. And among the responsibilities that I carry and maybe impose on myself, that is one of them. So this was...
She showed us around the vice president's ceremonial office.
I brought in this bust of Thurgood Marshall, and I always have him over my right shoulder in the drawer here.
The desk where previous vice presidents left their signatures.
Al Gore, Quayle, Cheney, Harry Truman.
Some of these men went on to become president, but Kamala Harris told us she is focused on getting the Biden-Harris ticket re-elected next year. The GOP is using her low poll numbers and President Biden's age as a battering ram, and some Democrats are growing worried. We were talking to some Democratic donors, and they have told us that should something befall President Biden and he is not able to run, that there would be a free-for-all for who would run as president.
She's literally in the job. So you're asking her, it would be a free-for-all. The job that she is in is number two. If something that's what she swore in office to do. So if something happens to number one, automatically she becomes president. They're saying, oh, it's a free-for-all, like as if, so you're hearing what they're entertaining. They're entertaining doing another first and all of a sudden trivializing who would be president if something happened to the president. Well, the system of American government that has made sure that there would be a president, they call that the vice president. So she's currently the vice president. If he was to fall ill or disappear tomorrow off their planet or get abducted by aliens, she's going to be the president. They're going to swear her in immediately. Simple as that. But listen to how the Democrat, her own party is having this conversation when it comes to her. But it makes sense for this old senile foot in the grave old man to still be getting propped up. The weekends at Bernie presidential candidate.
In the spot that would be a natural for you to step up, but we're hearing from donors that they would not naturally fall into line. Why is that?
Well, first of all, I'm not going to engage in that hypothetical because Joe Biden is very much alive and running for re-election. So
but you do know, I mean, that is a...
What the hell kind of answer is that? Joe Biden, well, I'm not going to entertain hypotheticals. Joe Biden is very much alive and running for another presidential term. Yeah, ma'am, and you're the vice president. So if something happened to him, are you ready? That was a horrible response for a person who is a heart attack or stroke away from being in the big chair. And this is her response. Yeah.
Concern, and a legitimate concern, I would say.
I hear from a lot of different people, a lot of different things. But let me just tell you, I'm focused on the job. I truly am. Our democracy is on the line, Bill. And I frankly, in my head, do not have time for parlor games. When we
Democracy is not in any jeopardy, ma'am. Stop it. That line is being repeated. That's a DNC talking point. Democracy is in jeopardy, and we're going to lose all our democracy. Stop.
we have a president who is running for re-election. That's it.
Joe Biden.
Conventional wisdom is that most presidential elections are won or lost on the economy. And while inflation has been coming down, prices for basics like food and shelter remain staggeringly high.
Yeah,
we
there's no
came into
caps on
office
anything.
during the height of a pandemic, record unemployment. And because of our economic policy.
Oh, wait. It was a complete shutdown, man. What are you talking about? Record unemployment. Yeah, because nobody was working. All of these places were completely closed. There are businesses that never recovered from the shutdown. It was a shutdown, a global closing. So she's trying to make it seem like, oh, well, it was just ran raggedy. No.
We now are
How
reducing
dishonest.
inflation. We have created over 14 million new jobs. We've created over 800,000 new manufacturing jobs. Wages are up. And so we've seen great progress.
Considering what you are laying out as your achievements, you have the current front runner for the GOP, Donald Trump, facing what, 91 criminal charges?
I've lost count.
Yet the Biden-Harris ticket is why?
One of the masses is in great jeopardy, ma'am. That's what you could probably do is tell the people that, yeah, we're in trouble, folks. I mean, good Lord. Well, I don't know. We in trouble. Oh man, it's Lord. I just don't know.
What I will say is this. When the American people are able to take a close look at election time on their options, I think the choice is going to be clear. Bill, we're going to win. Let me just tell you that. We're going to win. And I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but we will win.
You say that with such conviction.
I have no doubt, but I also have no doubt this is a democracy.
Democracy. She said that word often during our interview. Despite the criticism and low poll numbers, former prosecutor Kamala Harris told us she's prepared to trust the verdict of the American people. Do you have to ask yourself, why are people seeming not to hear our message?
I look at it more as, let's keep getting out there. And as with any election, we got to make our case to the American people. That's part of our responsibility. And that's this process. And that's what it is. And that's a fair process.
Then I'm glad to hear you say that. Because then when y'all get voted out of office and the Democrats finally start listening and learning that they're going to have to do something to earn this black vote, which then also in turn shows the Republicans and every other party that now the black vote has to be earned. Babylon is fallen. Babylon is fallen. Let it fall and let us rise. Can you dig it? Yes, indeedy, family. So thank you all for tuning in with us this evening. I much appreciate all of you for tuning in and hanging out with me for these few hours. And for those who are watching, and this might be your first time, and be like, okay, well, I'm gonna dig what he's doing, or you first time watcher, and you'd be like, I don't like it. What are you talking about now? Well, you might be a bisexual, and this is one of the reasons why we're not really rocking with it.
This country is doomed. It is doomed, not just because of African Americans, but because by 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. You hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do.
And he comfortable talking to black folks like that. Then you have to really examine what is going on at the border. And what's going on at the border is a crisis. You are allowing groups that could be terrorist cells in here, people who could be coming here as mules for drug cartels, bringing more of the fentanyl in here. And remember what you ran on. You ran on him, and people right now are trying to say, oh, he didn't run on no open borders. He didn't run on no open borders. Yes, the hell he did. And they were caravanning in here when he got in office. And then got here, set up. They all up in Chicago getting that money, all up in New York getting that money. And they call him back home. Come on, y'all. So we already understand that everybody ain't going to make it. And some of them are just simply going
But I'm telling you, as a psychologist, I'm not going to be able to psychologize all of them on the corner. Some of them going to sleep for good. And I'm
yes, indeed. And Roland Martin and your panel that keep trying to smoke screen and shoehorn other agenda. Well, not really other agendas, just for dangle a check for yourself. That's a real slimy move and a grimy move. And then not to mention for all of y'all that's just going to say, well, we need to scare when we know the threat. That's what's going to work. Partner, this one goes to you. Sambo. You know, for those who do not understand, not all skin folks is kin, and not all old black folks are elders.
Got to watch these old niggas.
They do. And always remember over here, it is hashtag hands off all
You have no rights here. We're not under the empire.
So for all parties of the proxy woke war, all I gotta say is we are on to your dirty tricks, and your devilry will not prevail. Simply put. So, speaking for myself, beatzillapdx official, beatzillapdx official show. Those of you in the chat, grassroots, voices of new black media, I think it is safe to say that we proudly dedicate this song to all of you.
Get up off
And just before we go, y'all gonna be seeing this in your sleep. You're gonna hear beep 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 and see this.
A ver, hijo de la chingada, deja de estar viendo memes, pendejo.
A la verga me vale verga, perro. Y cállate a la verga, cae tu puta madre a la verga. La verga, vergazos.
All right. All right, family. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at beatzillapdx. You can email me at ourrealtruth@gmail.com. And if you wanted to put some money in the bucket to help support this channel by way of donation, you definitely can by giving a thumbs up, number one, and then hitting Cash App, $beatzillapdx. That's Cash App, $beatzillapdx. And also we have PayPal, which is Zilla Muzak. That is ZILLAMUZAK at PayPal. And so with that being said, we are going to get on up out of here. Again, please like and share this broadcast. Like and share this broadcast. And with that being said, stay black, stay vigilant, stay alive. Black first, black first, black first. Shalom,
when
y'all.
you know who Satan is, yes, sir. You don't have to kill him. No. The stone of truth. Yes. See, that's what you throw. Yes, right. Allah says, had we wished to take a pastime from before, surely we would have done it. Nay, we cast truth at falsehood till we knock out its brains. Every one of you that knows the truth, stand up and tell it from the mountaintop. Black people can't take it no more. So wherever you are on the job, in the factory, I don't care where you are. If you know the truth, stand up on the truth and tell Satan, who the hell are you to try and pick my friends? Farrakhan is God's man, and you are from the enemy of God. So to hell with you. Stand up on it like a man.